Prettywitty77 coming to you guys today with a transitioning hair Q&A. A couple of weeks ago, I made a post on my Instagram page, Prettywitty77, for you guys to ask me questions regarding my transition, and this is what y'all asked. So off top, I had a couple of questions to get off my chest because these were like the most frequently asked questions, and it was like two, I feel like, that got asked the most, well, still gets asked the most. And the first one is, what made you decide to go natural? Well, hello to any of my new Whitties out there. If you've basically subscribed to my channel in the past year. But if you're no Whitty, whistle, and you probably remember these videos. Are you planning on going natural? Not anytime soon. But listen, I've always said, a couple of years ago I made this thing where I said I will go natural when I turn 30. That age is approaching faster than I thought it would. I'm not sure how long y'all been following me, but I always said that I wanted to go, I was going to do something different when I hit 30, when I hit my 30s. Hunty, I'm not knocking at the door. Will you ever go natural? I literally just posted a video on this a couple of weeks ago. Eventually. It's really not new. I've been saying this for years. The time is just come down. I didn't have any kind of complications with my texlax or relaxed hair. It was just a personal goal that I've had, and you know, sometimes in life you just gotta try something different. You know, you gotta walk the tightrope with no safety net, and that's what I'm preparing to do. With your curl pattern, why were you texlaxing anyways, or relaxing, or what you want to call it? The background about that is I've basically been relaxed since I was like 4 or 5 years old. I was too young to even know what a curl pattern was. I took responsibility for my hair and just started taking care of it, and that's where I ended up. I never knew how my natural texture looked. And I mean, it's cute or whatever. I like all textures of my hair, boo, all of them. So yeah, I never knew what it looked like. It's not like I was like, oh my God, I don't want these curls. Let me just, you know, relax them. Like, I didn't know, sis. Just the way most of y'all didn't know either. Okay, so now I'm heading into the questions that were originally asked on my Instagram page. And I just asked you guys to stand with me and reading and answering these questions. Make it make sense. Let's get into the video. What hairstyle did you do while making the transition? Back when I was quote unquote transitioning, and I didn't call it a transition because I was indecisive about which route I was going to take, I did a lot of French braid, the same styles I do today. It was a little bit easier to blend my textures then, because you know, it wasn't like it was like and it was just, you know, easier. So I did like my infamous twist outs, well, not infamous, but you know, and French braids, buns, you know, buns a staple, and I think that's about it. How often do you moisturize your hair? It depends on which style that I'm rocking for the week. If I'm rocking like 2 little French braids or like braids, I probably won't moisturize them every day. I know that's bad to say, but if I have like a ponytail and I'm just letting the back, you know, do a little horsey thing, then I'll probably moisturize that daily. Buns, I mean, I would probably moisturize this part of my hair when I'm wearing a bun, and not like that part. I don't know, it's just some weird thing I do. I just be really going with the flow, honey. Is your natural hair the texture you expected it to be? Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. What a pleasant surprise. I did think it was gonna be, because of growing up and I used to hear like my family and my sisters and my parents, like I always refer to my hair, oh, you got thick hair, you got thick hair, and I see like my natural curl and I'm like, it doesn't really look that thick at all. Like, I almost kind of want to have a sit down with my family and be like, thick wear. Like, I mean, it's dense, but I don't believe that my curls are really thick and coarse. So is it the texture I expected it to be? No, because of what's been put in my head, you know, when I was legit. But you know, I love it though. What do you say helps the most with your transition? Deep conditioning on a schedule. When do you plan to cut the Tex-Lax ends? I don't really have a game plan. I'm really just, you know, playing it by feel. I notice when I do certain styles, I be tempted to like snip, snip, snip. I don't think that I'm gonna just from this like do one big chop, but I could be saying this today and I could think a certain thing tomorrow, because y'all know from my my transitioning chronicles that my emotions be like all over the place depending on what day of the week it is. So I don't know, I don't have, like I said, like, oh, I'm gonna cut it when I get 3 years into my transition, or I'm gonna cut it when I get this. Like, I don't know. I'm just waiting for that little itch that people say they be having. One day I just woke up and I knew it was time to get rid of my ends. Like, you know, Lord Jesus is a fire. You know, I just don't know. And I don't know, I'm waiting. So stay tuned, sis. You know, we're gonna make a movie when I do, you know what I'm saying? How long did you flip-flop between wanting to transition or stay Tex-Lax? For the first year of my transition, I was going through like so many things that I really wasn't really thinking about relaxing or Tex-Laxing my hair, which was an accident. I didn't mean to, like, I usually do a minimum of 7 months before I do another Tex-Lax. So it was really easy to go through those like 3 or 4 months a year before I'm like, whoa, it's been a year. So there was no like flip-flop then. The flip-flop came maybe like 14 months to like 20 months. Like between that time, I was like flip-flopping or just like doing stuff, just basically keeping it moisturized. And I was really like, oh my God, I don't know. I just kind of want my hair to be the same texture. I don't know if I want to do this right now. At the same time, I was like, girl, on this shoulder, it was like, girl, you might as well, like, you ain't getting no younger. But on this shoulder, like, girl, bye. You know, you had this Tex-Lax game on lock. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So I made my decision, and it's that. Are you gonna stay natural, or is this something you're doing now for the health of your hair? When I complete my transition, if I'm in love and I'm like, you know, this is a move, maybe I'll stay natural. I mean, there's no guarantee. I might be like, you know what, this is nice for a couple of years and let me return. Like, I don't know, but I don't have any plans on just doing it for the health of my hair, because my hair was in a pretty healthy, relaxed, or Tex-Lax state before, so there was nothing wrong with the health of my hair before. Have you noticed any differences? Scalp health, overall health, how do you feel? The only difference, I mean, I really don't, it's not a big difference with my transitioning hair. The only difference that I've noticed is that my natural hair, aka my new growth, feels a lot smoother than my Tex-Lax hair. When I wash it and when it's wet, it feels a lot smoother. I feel like when it's air drying or style, it kind of just feels almost the same. Maybe I'm lying, I don't know. But I know when it's wet, when the product, I know that it feels a lot rougher towards the end. So that's pretty much the only difference. I can't say that my natural hair like dry out before the bottom. I mean, I feel like it's all gonna dry when it needs to be moisturized. I don't know, girl. Let me think about that. How many textures in your hair have you noticed so far? So far, if you haven't seen my what my natural texture looks like, you definitely want to check out that video if you want to get a look up into these tresses, girl. But so far I've noticed about 3. There could be more. Also, I'm noticing these textures with the Tex-Lax hair still attached to the end. So whatever curl that I'm seeing, I know that it looks different from each other, but it can completely change when I chop off the ends. But I'm looking at 3 of them things right now. What are some good products and styles to do when you first started transitioning? The first year was easy breezy, beautiful. Witty girl, not cover girl, you know. I basically use the same products that I was using, but if you want to take a look at the products that I'm using on my transitioning hair now, feel free to click the link that you're gonna see on screen for all of the products that I'm using on my transitioning hair. Is the transitioning process what you thought it would be? Easy, more difficult, or like styling wise? I thought it would be a lot harder, because I didn't know what my natural texture looked like. I didn't know that it was gonna be, I wouldn't say it's a breeze, because I feel like my biggest struggle point is blending the two textures, probably everybody's. I don't really have a problem with my new growth being like really dry and crunchy, because you know your girl ain't no stranger to these deep conditioners and these co-washes out here in these streets. Y'all need to get here out in these hair streets. That's the problem. Get in the streets. Y'all trying to walk the sidewalks with these weeds. Get in the streets, okay? Get to know your hair. But that's probably my biggest, you know, hang up, is like blending the texture. I get so sad because I'm like, I'm not all the way natural. It's like, what are you? What are you? I don't know. Just which part of your hair makes you smile the most when it's wet and defined? Side, back, middle, top, you know. I think all of my hair makes me smile the most when it's wet. You know, the curls be popping and Eco be in there like, hey. I think all of them, because they're all so different. Well, I ain't gonna lie, the front, I just be kind of looking at it like, because like it don't be wanting to curl, and it's probably the heaviest part of my hair, because the most Texlex ends are attached to the front, which frames my face, and it makes my hair appear longer than what it really is during the transition. So I can just only imagine how heavy that relaxed or chemically processed hair is. So yeah, it be looking all watery, but everything else I'll be like, oh, look at my curl. The tight ones, the semi-loose ones, all of them, sis, I love you all. Have you determined your curl type? How long into your transition do you think it takes to determine it? I've determined the nape of my hair to be like around 4A-ish, because there are no relaxed ends or chemically processed ends attached to that hair. Around my edges, around kind of this part, it looks to be around a blend between 4A, 3C-ish. I haven't really determined anything on the top, because I have a lot of chemically processed hair that's attached. And a year into my transition, I really couldn't tell. Maybe because in a lot of areas of my hair, the S was a little bit too wide, so it was like not long enough for me to see like the natural curl just lay. So I feel like for me, about a year and a half into my transition, I was like, okay, I see you. Do you find yourself using different products on your new growth versus your ends? It depends on what style my hair is in. Sometimes if I'm doing a bun or just a ponytail, I'll probably put heavier products towards the end to make sure these ends stay moisturized. But for the most part, when I'm styling my hair and like doing like twist outs or braid outs, this is a braid out, by the way. No, ain't nobody got time for that. You gonna get this work, you gonna get these products, and I'm gonna use them up. I have no time for that. Do you feel that your natural hair is stronger than your Texlex hair and with less breakage, or is that just a myth? I feel like it's stronger. I feel like my new growth is stronger. I can't say with less breakage because I'm not 100% natural. Of course, I get breakage here and there. Mostly, I mean, I feel like it's no real way to avoid breakage when you're transitioning, because like you definitely have a line of demarcation. You might get a little something, but it shouldn't be excessive. Do you still keep your protein shampoo and conditioner a part of your regimen? Again, if you guys haven't seen my video about my Texlex hair regimen, all the products that I'm using, please feel free to check out the description box or click the link on screen. I don't have a protein shampoo. I do have a protein deep conditioner. Well, it's a medium protein. I really don't do that hard protein stuff, but we're gonna keep it rolling. I really don't do that hard protein stuff, but I splashed around. I feel like as long as I got a line of demarcation, then I really do need to strengthen my hair and keep protecting it, you know. Talking me popping when it's natural. Okay. So yeah, sis, that pretty much concludes this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up with off GP, sis. Like, show that support. Thank you guys so much for watching, for returning, supporting, liking, commenting, emailing, and I will see you guys in the next video.
But I hope you get what you're dying for. Be careful with me. Do you know what you do?